What if I tell you that you can magnify your personal brand and turn that attention into revenue for your business in just 30 days using a 3-step blueprint? Sounds too good to be true? Stick with me over here. So let's be honest. Is it difficult for you to showcase your confidence in selling in front of the camera? At the same time, you also know that how important it is in order to grow your influence, increase your network, and build more credibility amongst your clients. So I'm sure by now you already know, as a founder or CEO, being under the spotlight and creating content is really difficult, and it's a really daunting task for a lot of the new founders and CEOs. I'm sure you've heard about influencers like Simon Sinek, Neil Patel, Peng Joon, and you know how good they are with their content. So have you ever wanted to magnify your personal brand by creating influential content like them? Do you want to put the process of creating high value content on auto mode and not worry about how much time is it going to take from your daily work hours? Then I think you have to pay very close attention to this video. Hi, my name is Akshay and I'm the founder of ThoughtLoop. So I've exclusively been working in the brand management space and copywriting with various businesses and startups in Canada and India since 2014. So I've also covered segments and sectors like fashion, lifestyle, FMCG, banking, hospitality, to name a few. Being in the position that you are right now in your business, I'm pretty sure you can sell. But are you confident enough to step in front of the camera and address your audience? Your limited efforts to promote your personal brand online are not reaping you the right proportionate returns, and that can be disappointing. How do I know? Because I've been there. Building trust and credibility amongst new clients is one of the biggest challenges any founders and CEO faces, and that is why it's becoming even more important for constantly putting yourself out there in front of the people. You're seeing it everywhere, in every sector and every business. So before I discovered this framework for enhancing my own personal branding, I always wanted to know, how do these established founders find the time to actually create this vast pool of content and be so consistent with their publishing? I thought it's only because they have a great backend team which might be managing this content on the founder's behalf, but I didn't know that there was a much smarter and easier way to execute this. So everyone I spoke to said that it's never going to be possible without a team or an agency assisting you in this process, and still it would be too expensive and time consuming to make sense of it all. So I started doing a lot of research on this, and these are the statistics that I came across. 77% of consumers are more likely to buy when the CEO of the business uses social media. 92% of people trust recommendations from individuals, even if they don't know them, over companies. Imagine that. Founders who have their personal blogs are 13 times more likely to enjoy a more positive return on investment and more positive interactions with your audience. So that might give you a better understanding of why all these things are really important for us. So now I finally knew what needed to be done, and in order to make the lives of CEOs and founders more simpler, we decided to introduce the Brand Sprint Blueprint. So we've done a lot of market research before the launch of the Brand Sprint Blueprint, and after talking to almost 100 CEOs and founders globally, I realized that creating content around their personal brand and consistently distributing it online was a major problem for most of them. Primarily because of two things. One is the constraint of the time, and secondly, because they did not have a proper strategy to go about which could give them guaranteed results. So I decided to go about and solve this using a simplified blueprint, which not only gives a guided step-by-step process but also involves the minimum time investment from our founders or CEOs to get the maximum results in terms of content creation and distribution. So once you opt in for the Brand Sprint Blueprint, the process is pretty straightforward. You simply connect with us once a month for a 40-minute strategy call. Invest a maximum of 48 hours for curation of your own content around your personal brand. And we will make sure you are good to go for 3 months for covering up content on all your social media platforms. So this will include video content, blog posts, quote cards, tweets, announcement posts, the entire package. Now let's discuss the core problems that you face. So hiring an agency is out of the question because it's too expensive and they're not at all made for personal brands to begin with. You can do the designing yourself on Canva, but as soon as you start the process, you will realize that designing is not your strength or core competency. And even if you do a great job at it, you have millions of people using Canva and sharing similar looking templates. So, how are you going to stand out? Now, you haven't even considered costs like video editing software, strategy, transcription, and most importantly, the time that it's going to take for you to do all of this. With this blueprint, we want you to focus on things that really matter to you, like the business activities and growing your business. And we want you to automate your personal branding, which will help build your credibility and influence amongst your clients consistently without investing too much precious time behind it. And come on, if I was in your position, I would ask the same question to myself. How do you know, Akshay, whether this blueprint is going to work for me? So, when we were doing our research for creating this blueprint, we have extensively studied frameworks like the Gary Vee content model, Peng Joon's content multiplier formula. So, these frameworks have been tried, tested, and successfully been executed by thousands of creators and founders globally. So, we decided to remove the fluff, the theory, and make it more practical and doable for founders like yourself. But before you get too excited, I also have to be absolutely clear about this. This blueprint is only for those founders who are true experts in their fields and have decided to go all in terms of wanting to build their personal brand online and grabbing attention for their business. That's exactly why we are doing prior due diligence to figure out if you are the perfect fit for this offering. Now, another question we get a lot of times is, how is this different from a social media marketing agency offering? So the biggest difference is that with Brand Sprint Blueprint, we take your experience and expertise, your voice and message, and amplify its reach using the steps in the framework, opposed to a social media marketing agency which doesn't have the slightest clue about your industry or what you do and is tasked with the responsibility of creating content on your behalf, or be your voice, which can have a catastrophic effect on your personal brand. Now, if you're watching this video after going through my Express personal brand audit, then you are already the right fit for the Brand Sprint Blueprint, because we are only sending out these audits to handpicked founders and CEOs who we know will benefit from this framework directly. Now, here comes the exciting part. So now when you click on the button below, we can not only clear all your pending doubts regarding how we can be the perfect fit for each other's business, but you will also be getting a more detailed personal brand audit checklist, social media audit, content roadmap strategies, basically a strategy call session worth rupees 60,000 absolutely free. Yeah, you heard that correctly. It's absolutely free. Now, we also wanted to keep the Brand Sprint Blueprint exclusive, and we are planning to close this offer after providing its access to a total of 8 clients. This is our way of making sure we give our unwavering attention to our selected clients and give them the very best of our abilities for the maximum results possible. Now, I'm pretty sure you're already realizing how important personal branding is for yourself and its direct effects on your business. A lot of the other founders and CEOs are putting their personal branding efforts in high gear and making their presence felt online. But there's only a limited space for founders in their respective fields to create an impact and become true thought leaders. Now, let's put it this way. Imagine knowing you have the opportunity to dominate your business segment, to become a revered name as an expert in your field, and you are not taking action. An opportunity backed by tried and tested methods, customized exactly for your sector and your needs. One that can push your personal brand to the next level. That is something you do not want to regret a few years down the line when you see your competition trail ahead. It's a really difficult spot to be in. So the time is now to actually take action. So let's sum it up. If you want to overcome your fear of being in the spotlight, produce captivating high-value content, build long-lasting market influence, 3x the results of your marketing efforts by investing a fraction of your time, click the button below and let us show you the way ahead.